Welcome back. I'm in the saw shop. This feels so good. We've been making videos. I haven't got everything finished that I want to do to show you kind of the start to finish on things. I'm going to do things just a little different. When I was in the hospital, I had some time to review where I was at, what was happening. But I tell you, I'll be honestly, this last year and a half, not felt very good. It's between the diabetes and everything's going on. It's been quite rough. Bear with me, folks. We're going to tackle some problem saws, which I mentioned in the last video. And this is going to be interesting. How do you solve some of these saw problems that crop up? So that's kind of nice. But today, I tell you what, I had my friend Brock Bradley from Beeray Farms, where I get my bars and chains, stop by on his way home. It was nice meeting you, Brock. It really was. And he brought some gifts for the channel and some new products, brand new products to share. So that's fantastic. And believe it or not, in this video, we actually have some products direct, factory direct from Hyway. Love to show you what they did. This is nice. This is good stuff. Okay, so what we're going to start with is this awesome chain. This is nice looking chain. The one thing that I remarked on this. Now this is Archer. Okay, there is actually a few things I liked. The cutters. The cutters. I don't normally run out of the box chain because it's dull, but look at that profile. You can just see that top plate. That's undercut just nicely. And like Buck and Billy would say, they got the gullet. That's nice. But here's an important one too. You see right here in this area in the driver, can you see that little notch going upwards toward the rivet? What that does, that carries oil up into the rivet. Like the older steel chains, I maybe they still do it. I haven't bought a steel chain in a few years. Well, quite a few years, I don't know the truth. But that helps so much by getting a little oil into that rivet. It keeps the chain from stretching. So now here's the way cool thing about this stuff. That's titanium plated. Okay, not chrome, that's titanium. Okay. Well, those of you know about titanium, well, that's nowhere near as hard as chrome. Why would they do that? Well, you know what? What they're looking for is building better chain. Plain and simple. Titanium is got some unique characteristics, and I understand why they use that. It's not super hard like chrome. So what you're not going to see is right here in the top plate, I predict. Now we're going to make some tests of this, and we're going to just see if I'm right or wrong. But on this top plate, when you're cutting wood with a lot of abrasives in it, you know, sand, dirt, gravel, it just clay, that chrome chips and peels off of that, and then you sharpen it, you still got that top plate where the chrome came off still isn't where it needs to be. The titanium is not going to lift. That's one thing I can guarantee. You can't harden titanium, so it's not going to work harden. Well, you can get a small amount of hardness out of it. I'm sure somebody will correct me that. Yeah. But why it's used is because it's lightweight. Well, you know, just plating isn't going to make a difference, but not in weight. But the quality of the chain. Now, I like Archer chain. I'll tell you, I really do. If I'm just out there, I'm cutting some trees, I'll use it. The price point, I'm sorry, half the money of a good quality, high quality chain, half the money or less. And I get nearly the same performance out of it. That's acceptable losses to me. If I'm hardcore logging, which I'm not ever going to do that again, I'll get into it just puttering around and playing at my age. I would like a real good chain. But I'm going to tell you what, they might have just hit it on the head with that titanium plated chain. I like how it's made. It's excellent. Their chains are quite nice anyway, especially when you calculate the price point. If you're cutting 20 trees a day, 30 trees a day, use it. If you're trying to get 80, you need every advantage you can get. Ported pipe saws, not racing pipes, but appropriate for felling timber. High tech, you're going high tech. But for the common person, which is what I am now, I think this is a great chain. I really do. But they have a new bar. Samara makes nice bars. Okay? I use the Samara bars, and he happened to drop off a brand new Samara bar for me. Right there, you've seen me use it on the channel. Great wear resistance on the top rail. It doesn't gouge out. The only thing I like to do is I still think that hole's too freaking small for the oil to go out. We've showed you how to open that up and get just a little more oil in that bar rail. Everybody's done it. They've got these just too small, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't make them. I just run them, and this is the modifications I do: is open that hole up, let a little more oil in, because that's a restriction right now. Is that little hole? I'll tell you that right now. Excellent strength, nice and light. This is a 24-inch. You can get these bars and chains, everything I'm going to show you today, from Brock Bradley. Okay, it's beerayfarms@gmail.com. Email him. Tell him old Harvey sent you. Old Iron Horse. And I'm getting a feeling old now anymore. But here's something interesting. Like I said, Samara's a light bar. Here's a new one. Okay, these aren't out yet. This is a premium light. I can't wait to run this. It's a 28-inch. This 28-inch, if something's just a couple ounces, I can't feel the difference when I'm holding it. But this bar is noticeably, as a 28, is lighter than their 24-inch lightweight. This, now I'll tell you what, if I have a bar that I got to bore cut with a heavy saw, it has to be rigid. And this one is. It's not like a noodle like old bar. Remember you used to buy 20 years ago these lightweight bars when they first started figuring them out. And they just wouldn't hold up bore cutting. You could use them for bucking logs and firewood and stuff. But this joker is light. I'm telling you. I am going to step out on a limb, and please don't cut it off on me. I think this is the lightest bar there is on the market. It will be available approximately the middle of September for Husqvarna and Steel. This is a Husky mount, but it will be available for Husky and Steel from Brock Bradley at beeray Farms. beerayfarms@gmail.com, middle of September approximately. Get a hold of him. Tell him what you want. Tell him I sent you. Excellent stuff. And Brock, thanks for everything you've done for the channel. It's really appreciated, man. He's always sending me new products to try, stuff he thinks I'm gonna like, share important information what's coming out next, which sometimes I can't share until it's ready. You know how it goes. And the one thing I can't wait for is for you to see the progress on this 95cc 372 that a whole bunch of months we started this project, and I got AFib, had a heart attack, got pneumonia, ended up with surgery in the hospital, and I got home and they sent me right back to the hospital. Boy, what a lucky dog I am. You know, they fed me though. I mean, I could eat the food. That was something. I didn't expect that. Okay, Hyway. Thank you. I'm going to tell you something. People think you have to have an OEM cylinder to put on your frickin' saw. You have to have it. No, you don't. I've been doing saws for years. Now, I'm going to tell you right out, 5-6 years ago, you wouldn't caught me. You would not catch me with an aftermarket cylinder on a saw that I ran. You would not. I was not a believer. I figured something as cheap as they cost, and we had cylinders and pistons from OEM weren't that bad of money. Okay, they really weren't. It's not like now. Okay, when you run, let's use the 046, 044 steel, 372. Saws that's been around a long time. I'm not talking X-Torque, original XPs. They've been run long enough that somebody's probably changed the piston in it, or if they haven't, it's at the very end. Okay, now what I run into is when I check my cylinders for run out with a dial bore gauge, right below that intake, it'll be egg-shaped. That piston skirt wear is very high in that particular saws in that area. Okay, we've talked about rod lengths, you know, the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to bore you with it. It doesn't really matter right at this point anyway. What does matter is if these people are taking them ancient cylinders, not checking them, throw them together, and get poor results, I told you so. So, pick up the phone, call your dealer. An OEM cylinder for my 044, which you're going to get MS440. It's the same. Or your 46, 372. These saws are old enough now that they're a little harder to get this stuff. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm not paying $300 for a piston cylinder. Just not doing it. Not for a saw that's worth $450, $500 when it's running. I'm just not doing it. I can't justify it. I can't. Okay. Now, if I had something that's absolutely pure, just beautiful shape, and for whatever reason the original cylinder wasn't good, yes, that saw's got enough value that I'll buy an OEM. This is what I personally do. But most of them, by the time you check them, they're 2-3 thousandths out. You might as well just chunk it because you're never going to get it to run as long as it did the first time. The second time around, they'll go south fairly rapidly. I don't like building saws that much. I love building saws, but when I do it, I want it to last. So I use Hyway. This is what I like the best. I'll tell you why. I like the upper transfers. I like the timing that's in the cylinders quite well. Other than I've had a lot of trouble over the last year with the Hyway big bores for the 046 steel and the 66 Magnum big bore. The intake timing is out to lunch. Okay, yeah, we know we can fix it and do. You know, you grind that roughly. Put some JB weld in there. Get your timing back where you want it. I'm going to tell you something. If you don't do that where it's chemically clean and physically clean and good and rough, that can come out on you. There's always a risk with that. So saws that are important to me to build, like 2 I've got right now, I don't want to run a big bore that I have to put the JB weld in the intake. Now, something for my own use, let's get real about this. From here on out, I'm not going to run saws. Anything I build, I'm never going to be able to wear it out. Okay? So I'm probably never going to have a problem. But let's take a look at what we got here. Now, I opened this box a few minutes ago, and they threw me a little grab bags in. Now, this is right from Hyway. They sent me some of the new style fuel filters, both sizes. You know, like this obviously is the ones that go into 372s, etc., etc. And these, there you see the nipples bigger. That goes in the bigger size, like 394, 395s. I think the 66 mag, stuff like that. So, Hyway, I appreciate doing business with you. I appreciate you sending me these products. I really like what you do. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I get a lot of products right from Ryan at Wolf Creek Saw Shop out in Colorado for your chainsaw needs. Email him. Get a hold of him. Check him out on eBay. Anything you want to do, just find him. And I don't have a sticker right in front of me for his email address, but you can find it. Just look up Wolf Creek Saw Shop, and you're going to find Ryan. I'm going to tell you something. He is a great guy. If he has the excellent quality aftermarket cranks, bearings, obviously the Hyway, not just Hyway, he carries a lot of parts. You need to just talk to him and say, hey, Ironheart said you are the good guy to deal with. And I'll tell you what he does. He stands behind the product he sells. If something happens or it doesn't work out, try to make sure it's not your fault. But if you have an issue, a genuine issue with a product, he's not going to in any way say anything but not a problem. I can replace that for you. No problem at all. Okay? So, isn't that nice in today's world? I don't think the dealer will do that anymore. Not the way the dealers act. Let's take a look at what we got. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I have not opened this stuff. I received it 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And I just didn't feel like making these videos. I've got little clips puttering out here for a few minutes at a time, but it's a lot of it ain't very good. Okay, we got a nice ring here. Let's look at what the Hyway rings are now. Let's just take a look, because I think they changed something. As soon as I can get it open. That, I'll tell you right now, I generally use a different ring. But, you know, I might just give these rings a shot. They actually look quite nice. They really do. And Ryan will upgrade your rings for you. All you got to do is ask him, hey, I want a better ring than what they come with. And he'll upgrade your rings. You'll get a good ring. Okay. This is interesting for me. Oh, God, I love being out here. You know, this is my haven. It's my man cave. Come on, let's admit what it is. Okay. Wow. You know something? I've always thought that their pistons look pretty good. But boy, I tell you what, they're really stepping up. There's little things that are different. And what it is better quality control. You're getting a nice piston. And I'm going to tell you what I found over the years since I've been using these. These are rugged. These are tough. They're tough pistons. They are just tough. And, by golly. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, I have got to get this on video. Without even going any further, I can see that lip in the bottom of that intake? See that? Right here? they've corrected their timing. I knew they were gonna, because they pay attention to what we do. Can't wait to put this on a 66 mag. Check that timing. I want to take and show you some of the cylinders from a year ago. I think I've got 1 or 2 left that the timing is out to lunch compared to this. Thanks. Now, if they've done the 046 also, I'm going to be a happy guy. I really am. But that really needed doing. That you know something? Their exhaust port is better. That is spot on, isn't it? You see the radius is in the corner here. You're not going to catch a ring. I always got nervous. I would raise that exhaust port, which it's this way, you know. I would raise that exhaust port just to get them corners rounded on top, okay? Because then you don't snag a ring, okay? This is what does it, okay? Now, I don't have to run so darn much exhaust timing in this saw. This saw doesn't need it. It does not need more exhaust timing. It does, you know, within reason. That squish band is perfect. That is perfect. Look in there. I hope you can see it. See that ring? There's a step. You have to do that. That's something I normally don't show on video. I'll taper that a bit. But they've already done it for me. You're paying attention, guys. See, this is progress. This is what makes things go forward, is do excellent work. Plating. I can tell by the color of that plating, it's not pure white. See that tone? See that color tone? Oh yeah, we've got it. We've got a winner here. Oh, I'll tell you what I got to do. I just have to. The next cylinder that we're going to see, they sent me a box full of this stuff. Thanks, guys. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. You know something? This is so nice. They sent me a decomp plug and the gasket, which is normal. If you use the gasket. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But the one, I've seen another problem, another thing that they got rid of, and you guys will know this that work with the steels, with the hyway stuff. Right around the sealing surface, they had like a ring around there that you had to get off if you were not going to use a gasket and you was going to do mold seal or something like that. Ultra Gray works quite nice too, believe it or not. Permatex Ultra Gray. That is dead smooth. That's nice. So there's like 3 problems that I was like, yeah, okay, they're cheap. You know, well, if you're calling 100 and change cheap, which compared to an OEM for a 66 mag, that's reasonable. And it's a big board, 99cc saw. How do you get 99 cc's that easy for that kind of money? You don't. You work at it. Okay, I had done some 266, some 61s and stuff with very, very good luck with their cylinders. 272s, love the cylinders. I mean, they're just awesome. And then I had a couple that had a minor issue that was correctable when you're porting, you know. But the problem with OEM cylinders, it definitely is price point. That ain't it. When you buy one, them molds are so freaking old now that you see all kinds of flashing and defects, okay? Now, if you're paying premium dough, give me the mojo. I want a premium cylinder. I want what they used to be, okay? That's what I want. Another nice ring. I better get, before I forget, get this ring back where it belongs. Now, that doesn't mean that hyway is the only one I use, because that would really be wrong to say that. It's not like that. I mean, there's a couple more that I will use that, but as long as the hyway is available, I prefer it because they just are they're so darn accurate for bore. That's the one thing I like. I love the bore. And I've got all kinds of videos on the tips and tricks and the different ways to do things. If you're trying to rebuild your first saw, all the way to you're on your third or fourth, and you want to start getting where you're hot rodding a little bit, definitely. 272 cylinder. There is a beautiful piston, isn't it? It is. Now, I'll tell you what they've done, and I can see it. They've reduced the squish band. I would like to think they did it for me, but they did it for all of you. They've reduced that squish band just a little. Okay? Now, when you think, well, gee, that actually has made that combustion chamber too big. No, it didn't. It did not. That's going to run beautiful. Plating is excellent. Ports are spot on. They are beautiful. Look at that transfer. Wonder why they made that so freaking wide. Tin man? Oh, yeah. That's a proper... That right there is proper transfers. They are really watching. I'll tell you, I can't explain what that means to you, especially for the price point of what you're getting. You're excellent plating. I can't wait to build I can't tell you what I'm building with this. I can't, but I'm going to share it with you soon. I've got some saws for some good friends of the channel that got put on hold, okay, when I was sick. And I've had to return a few saws that I wanted to do in the worst way, but just wasn't going to be able. I had to lighten my load, and I done it. And I've had two that were problem saws that just haunted me to no end. We have the solutions for them. This is what we're going to show. So basically what you do is organize, get these saws finished that I've started. I've got two apart, been apart too long. I've got to assemble them, finish assembling them, and then we're going to start pulling a couple saws off the shelf that fought me terribly. And just as I was getting sick there in January, I started and found a problem for both of them. So this is going to be important. I want to do more tech, okay? But I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to dumb some of this down. There's all kinds of video of how I build saws out there already. There is. So what I'm going to do, we're going to get a little more into the maintenance, problem solving. Why won't my saw start after it's set for 6 months? What do I do about it? Let's get into the sharpening. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Sharpening is key. Okay, I can sharpen good enough. Well, I can port a saw good enough. Is that what you want? Or you want awesome? Learn to be an awesome sharpener. It's not that hard. Just pay attention to detail. A good sharpen job is worth more to me than a heavily ported saw. Okay, it really is. It'll give you a bigger gain than your port work. Bet that. It will. If you already sharpen like that, then you know the advantage of ported, piped, and good and sharp. Leave it in the comments what you're thinking about this, guys. You know something? This is going to be the third video today that I've made. And I'm feeling so darn good, and I've got the time. I think I'm going to make a fourth. Or finish a video up. I got one that I've been working on for 3 darn weeks. That I've got all these little clips showing stuff. We're going to be running these bars and chains. Okay? Hopefully through the weekend, I want to get it up. Let's just find out if this new titanium-coated chain is worth its salt. I got an idea it might be. But we're going to put it on something that'll really test it. Thank you so much for watching. I welcome you all back. You're a great value. I have several guys that has made donations to the channel. I've got to give you a shout out. Hopefully, I can dig through the comments. I'm going to give you a shout out. Anybody that's made donations to help us through these hard times, which they're kind of hard right now. They'll get better once I get going a little further, but thank you so much. I mean, a lot. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $10. And I'm not asking for money. I don't want your money. But some people have a sharing heart. My big problem is I give half the stuff. I gave several saws away in the last 3 weeks. Just gave them away. Plain boom, done. But it dawned on me with the amount of saws that I personally own, and I've got just a buttload of saws to build. I'll never need anybody else's saws but my own for this channel, as long as I'll ever do it. I've got far too many. I've been giving parts away, and I'm picking good friends, somebody that's real deserving, and I wish I could give every one of you a saw, and I can't. But what I can is show you how to work on what you got, and that's where we're headed to next. Thank you. Goodbye.